Hey everybody, let's start today by talking about Team Ichigaki from the second set in Yu Hakusho, the trading card game. Everything's been updated, so there's new things that can be put into your deck. So what does the team do now? Well, they're better with combat. They're not really stronger, they're better with fighting in combat. You have Dr. Ichigaki, who now allows you to search for cards that are Power Serum, and that's it. You have M1 with 2 new attacks, one which he could use twice if your opponent has more cards equipped to them than you do, while the other deals more damage. He also has a higher defense rating, which is better because in the first one he had 4,000, now he has 4,500. As for M2, he has a little defense this time, well, a little less defense this time, which is a little bit of a downer, but that's still okay. And as for his attacks, they both discard cards that raise an opponent's defense, which means he's actually more built to hurt the opponent. Other cards that have been added are Confrontation, which allows you to discard 2 cards that are attached onto a person if you're a hero, and if you're a villain, they make your opponent discard a card. As for the other one, it's called Surprised, and it allows you to discard 2 attached cards from an opponent's fighter if you're from Team Ichigaki, as well as if they are Sarayashiki, you can make them discard the top 10 off of their deck. Which is really a nice, addition based around this allows you to deal a better advantage to yourself to a team that you're going to be better against already. Is the team any good? Well, still not really. I mean, they don't have much of an upgrade, even though they have an upgrade. They went from having no power to still having not enough power. Just because you've been upgraded in combat doesn't mean you're actually going to win. And even with the upgrades to the characters, they won't cut it. Pros are, well, the ability to attack numerous times is nice, and the ability to search your deck for your main item card is pretty fantastic, but the cons are, well, they're still not that great power-wise. Their best character is now kind of M3 didn't get an upgrade, so when he was good in the first set, in the second set, where everybody has higher defense and lower attack cost and better abilities, he's just left behind and isn't really as good. And when each team has the upgraded boost in power with their newest characters, it means that this team is a little left behind in general. Teams that I'll have a good time fighting against, Sarayashiki and Genkai. As the second set came out, Ichigaki had gained 2 teams it will now have an advantage against. Since Sarayashiki and Genkai use items and techniques, they're going to have a hard time fighting against this team, because this team is based around discarding the opponent's equipped cards. Will it have a hard time fighting against? Well, since each team has a boost in power, it's going to have a harder time fighting each one. So the fact that, Togoro's got a better whole team in general, and Urameshi has like 4 good characters now compared to what it used to have, and just everything, it's not going to be able to fight any team whatsoever except for basically Sarayashiki and Genkai. And since the characters haven't had much of a boost, they won't have an easy time fighting against anyone except the ones that they have the clear advantage over. The deck changes in a few cards. You'd only take out cards like Genkai Bunch and Broken, so you can put in, Surprised and Confrontation, and you're going to take out your techniques, so the deck relatively stays the same except for those few small changes. How does it work? Well, it works just like it always has. Dr. Ichigaki is going to be in the slot 4, like last time, while M3 will go where he would need to, the 3rd slot. M1 and M2 can go wherever in slot 1 or 2. For a conclusion, well, Ichigaki hasn't changed much since set 1, and its power hasn't really expanded past set 1. Aside from a few new tricks, there isn't much going for Ichigaki, and it'll find its way later on in sets. But until then, it's not that bad. Should you avoid running it? No, it's still something that's fun to do. It still allows you to try and fight out a battle and think things through and stuff. It's still pretty fun, so give it a shot.